Well, welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast. We have a Spanish duo today on our interview. Tim Dieck, Olivia Smart. Hi, how are you?
Hola.
Hi, Jackie.
Hello.
Hola. Like Olympics? You're all done with the Olympics, and you're getting ready for Worlds. How was the Olympics?
Oh, that's hard to describe in a short sentence, but it was an absolute amazing time, and I will never forget that time. It was absolutely different than 4 years ago,
Right.
and sharing those moments together with my partner Olivia was amazing. Like, that's literally all I can say. Like, there was not one moment which I was like, there was 24/7 stuff going on, and we enjoyed it a lot. I think online on our social media platform, you could tell that us both, we enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, so crazy, right? You both were in Beijing 4 years ago. Obviously, nobody was there except for the athletes and like me and 100 journalists or whatever it was, how many ever journalists there were. It was kind of crazy how different those two Olympic experiences were. Olivia, what about you? Like, how was there? Are obviously other things that happened. Congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
But how was your second Olympic experience?
I used the word kind of like Tim said, but in a brief, like one word, it's memorable. Everything down to the opening ceremony of the Olympics and that experience of carrying the flag for Spain, then the competition going as well as it did for Tim and I, and having two great Olympic skates. And that's what every athlete dreams of, is like performing at their best at the Olympic Games. So when you actually do that, you're like, oh, yes. So we did that. We had that moment on the ice together at the Olympics with our families in the stands and the crowd, and like we got to like see them like while we were on the ice and wave up to them.
Right.
And then the celebrations continued for the both of us, but for myself especially because I got engaged.
Yes.
So my whole Olympic experience, I left and I was like, what did I do to deserve all of this? What did I do? Because I feel like the luckiest girl on earth right now, everything down to like the Olympic competition, to getting engaged, having the experience with Tim at the games, my family at the games, and now Jean-Luc, my fiance. It was incredible. And there's like, the post-Olympic depression that they say is a thing. I don't know whether it was because we like lived so presently in the moment and just like, I know we didn't take anything for granted when we were there. Weirdly, I don't know about you, Tim, but myself, I haven't had that like crash or that down yet. And I'm fingers crossed and touch wood, I don't think I will, because I feel like I've grown from this Olympic experience. And it's changed me in so many ways for the better. That I'm like not looking in the past and missing it. I'm like using it moving forward. I'm just super grateful to have experienced an Olympics that's like a proper Olympics. 4 years ago, it was incredible. I had the best time 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like my Olympics 4 years ago was two great skates as well. And it was the moment Jean-Luc and I like kind of started. So I had a great Olympics.
What a quad.
4 years later, who would have thought I would have got better?
Right.
We're really lucky, and it sparked a light in the both of us that we didn't even think was there. So we're super grateful, and our families as well. They're like, "Wow, that was amazing."
I mean, both of you were there with your partners and your partners, and so that experience has to have been incredibly good. I mean, Tim, you went a little viral too. Both of you went viral at the Olympics. Tim, talk about your Matador outfit.
Well, I had this, how to say, like, I had this idea a little for the Olympics. Okay, like for some reason, some thought came to my mind in the evening. Okay, I want to have some outfit for not just our gear and our equipment. I wanna do something crazy. And then originally I had the plan to do it, to wear it for our Spanish singer skater, for Tommy, because he was skating to the Minions and for Spain as well. And I was like, that could be an option. But then we competed the day after, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna go and watch in the Spain. I'm not gonna do that. I need to focus. Like, come on. But then, of course, my girlfriend was also there, and skating to the music The White Bull, made a lot of sense. And I told her before about that outfit. I didn't told her that I'm gonna wear it though, and she also actually didn't see me in the stands, which was funny as well.
Probably
But just like
probably maybe a good thing. The distraction would have
maybe a
been.
good thing actually, maybe a good thing. But yeah, it was more like for fun, but also to really show my full support, which I'm therefore I was sharing this experience with her and had the time after my competition to really support her with the nerves going into her individual event, of course.
Yeah.
And spend a lot of time together, which we unfortunately usually don't do because we had a long distance relationship, right? So it made it even more special to share this Olympic experience also with her. It was just, again, I use the word amazing, very unique experience, like not only the Olympics, but sharing it with your partner and with all your loved ones is breathtaking.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't find words.
Like, the two of you had those moments, and they were very early in the Olympics, right? You all skated within really like the first week of the Olympics, and then you got to stick around for another week and a half or so, right? So that you could do all of the rest of the stuff. Like, it's different than a World Championships where you're completely crammed into a few days and you don't even get to do much else. Um, what were the other types of things that you all did? What were some of the more memorable ones that you had?
Well, as you said, like we got to the games. We had about a week to settle in, do the opening ceremony, and then compete. It was a quicker turnaround than what we did 4 years ago. But at the same time, like you said, it's also more time than what it is World Championships. But it was great for us this time around. I know it wasn't the same for all athletes. A lot of athletes did have to leave a couple of days after the event ended. It really depended on the federation and the situation of the skater. We were even told that we might not be able to stay until the end, but we did kind of fight that because we were like, you're not kicking me out. But also our aim was to be in the Olympic Gala with our like fun gala number. So we were luckily able to stay. And honestly, good job because I didn't really, well, personally, but I know Tim as well, we didn't do so much of the interactive things in the Olympic Village prior to our event because it was so overwhelming and there were so many things to do. And Tim and I really wanted to conserve our energy and really focus on the competition first. And then we were luckily able to have the time afterwards to enjoy those things in the Olympic Village, like going to the Coca-Cola lounge, making a Coca-Cola can with a picture on it, the pin trading, like everything was after the competition for us because it was a lot to take in, but we are there at the Olympics to compete. So that's what we wanted to put as our priority. So then we really dove into like the social side of it afterwards. And for myself, well, also we're in Milan, Italy, to explore a bit of Milan as well, to go into the city, go downtown. I know a lot of athletes got there earlier, so they did that in advance. But it was nice to just, spend time out of the Olympic Village as well, see our families in other ways in a new place. Go out for a romantic dinner with our significant others. We went out for a group dinner, the four of us. So just like have a mini vacation in a way as well, because this was our only time off until we get back into things for the World Championships.
Right.
So we're grateful that we were able to do it at the games, and also let us kind of like let everything sink in, like what had just happened, and also milk the spotlight of what the Olympic Games is. Like, figure skating is a niche sport. It's getting more popular, but we still know that every 4 years we become more and more popular. So during this month, every 4 years, you better believe we're milking it as much as we can. So that's what we did.
That's great.
Yeah. So just enjoying like the Olympic Village. There's just so many things to do as an athlete in the village, luckily. Yeah. even just the pin trading, as you know, like took over a big part of our Olympic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to watch other events. Both of us went to as many hockey games as we could. Tim went to the long track. We both went to short track. And then to watch the pairs events, etc. Like we wanted to watch as many events as we could, also being at the Olympic Games, because that was also not so much a thing 4 years ago for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really enjoy the Olympic spirit after the competition when you can fully like take it all in as well.
So great. Yeah, overwhelming has been the word that I've heard
Yeah.
Yes.
the most number of times
Yeah.
when people are talking about the actual village. It's just like sensory overload for sure.
Yeah, like I remember having to go to the dining hall with my headphones in a couple of times just to be like, don't speak to anybody. Like I need this like moment of peace and quiet. But that never happened. Like
No.
it's like being on a school trip. That's how literally how I described it as being on a school trip in high school. But it was a 3-week long like school trip.
It's
Yeah.
true. All
I took
are
a
going
book.
together.
Yeah, I took a book to read. Did I read a page? I read like a few pages before bed, but other than that, you're in your room and you're like, I feel
Calm
like I'm
down.
missing out on things outside.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the things outside were people being like, "Can I trade a pin
Can
with
I
you?"
have a pin? Yeah,
Oh
'cause
my God, so many
Also,
and
if you
pins.
then in the
didn't-
dining hall, the people who give you the food, even them were like, "Oh, Spain, you're pretty rare. You have a pin." Like with those eyes.
you're like,
and
can I
that's
just have a
all.
boiled egg, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little aggressive. A little aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Beijing, I want to maybe take you back 4 years ago. We talked about the weird Olympic experience, a little bit of Beijing, but you all were with different partners there, right? Tim, you're with Katarina, and Olivia, you with Adrian, and subsequently got together in the off season after that. So tell me about the origins of it. I'm sure you've talked about it a number of times, but I want to just hear 4 years after, like what does the origin story look like for you?
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah. It really started with like us not skating with our former partners anymore, right? Adrian retired and I stopped skating with my former partner and Katarina after the Olympics, or more like after the World Championships towards the end of the season. And then we were both, I can speak for the both of us in that moment, we were both like in a moment we were like, what do we do? What's next? Like where do we want to go? For me, it didn't took too long, to be honest. Like maybe a month and a half, 2 months, where I was like, okay, no, I definitely want to continue. I have so much fire still in me. I want to continue skating, looking for a new partner. And Olivia was probably the first one I texted because I saw it online that she also stopped skating with Adrian. And then yeah, we knew each other for a long time, of course, from skating. But the first answer was yeah, no. She was not she was not in the headspace, let's say it like that, in the headspace at that moment. Maybe you want to say it, Olivia, you were in Montreal still, but like what was going on?
I was in limbo of like, am I gonna continue? Am I not gonna continue? I was really going for a tough time, like personally with my career being put on pause and the way it happened, and also like my relationships at the time. And I was just like, I don't want to say yes to this guy and just be blow up in his face. So I very honestly said, like, look, this is a really bad time. I'm not ready for this right now. Like,
It's not you,
it's a
me.
no. Kinda, yeah. So yeah, I gave him a no, but it wasn't like a no, but check back in with me in a few months. I remember just being like, no.
Yep.
I was doing new things in Montreal at the time. I was just trying to kind of like find myself out of skating. And I really didn't think it would be possible for me to get a new partner, no matter who it was, whether it was Tim or somebody else. I didn't think it would be possible for me to get a new partner and get to the place I wanted to, or where I was with Adrian. In my mind, I was like, if I get a new partner, like, this is going to be near to impossible. Like, how is this even a thing? Even though we both, myself and I know Tim as well, we both left the Olympics with like this whole new confidence and fire in us. And at that time I was like, I don't want something that's too challenging right now. I need a minute. So yeah, I did say no at first, but then Tim was in Montreal. I was I stepped in for some coaching in Montreal, and I was on the ice. And Tim had a tryout in Montreal.
A
That
couple of guys.
a couple of tryouts. Long story short, one of them that I actually helped set up. There was a girl that I knew of and suggested it to the coaches that Tim has a tryout with her because I knew he was looking for a partner because he reached out to me. So he had these tryouts with these girls, and then the coaches invited me over for dinner one night, and after 2 bottles of wine, they sat me down and said, "We think you need to have a tryout with Tim." And I was like, "What?" Long story short, the reason why it came such a shock, this question, is because a week prior, I signed my Dancing on Ice contract. And they knew I'd signed my Dancing on Ice contract because I asked them if they thought it was a good idea if I do it. I asked like Murray France because they did Battle of the Blades as well. It's like, is this something I'll enjoy? And Murray France was like, you'll love it. She's like, even if you choose to come back to the sport or not, she said it will help you grow as a person and as a skater and athlete. So I took her advice and I signed that contract. But then a week later, they're telling me I need to have a tryout with Tim Dieck. And I'm like, what? They said, I know, they briefly said, like, I know you signed your contract, but we think you just need to have this tryout just to see if this is something that you want. Because if you do want to continue, this is your only option. Like, this is the time. I'm like, okay. So I had a tryout, and we had a tryout. I texted him and said, like, hey, are you free tomorrow by any chance for a tryout? So I can't
And then
imagine
my
what his
plan worked
reaction
out.
was.
You're like,
My
just
plan
kidding.
my plan worked kind of out because obviously I knew, like I said before, okay, Olivia's still there. She's not not skating at the moment, but she's still there. So there might be still a slightly small chance. So yeah, and then I got that text beginning of the week or something, and then we skated like 2 or 3 days, and then yeah, decided to skate together and go on a journey together.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, yeah, let's do this. Let's commit to this. But can you wait 8 months?
I have a TV thing I need to do.
I'm like, I have an obligation in the UK on a reality TV show. We tried to coordinate with him coming to the UK every so often, but I was packed. Like my schedule was busier than I expected. But I'm like going into this TV show like, hey guys, I'm doing this, but I have a new partner waiting for me and I'm trying to train to eventually go to the Olympics again. They didn't care. So my schedule was packed, jam-packed. And then as soon as Dancing on Ice ended, I was like, okay, I need a quick break and then we'll get straight to it.
And it wasn't even like you were like eliminated in the first show. It was like you
No.
went all the way and won it. So you had to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, if I get eliminated, I'll have so much more time. It'll be so different. Yeah, no, from like halfway through the show, I was like, okay, we might be able to win this. So I need to like commit now. Tim, you're on pause. It's like my other skating partner really needs the work. And I actually brought Tim in. Tim came to the UK and like helped me with Niall a little bit and stuff. So it became like a group project. That was also then a cool start to our competitive career as well together. Sharing new experiences that we didn't even expect.
Right. So you all started in 2023 in the fall, and you've had 3 seasons together now. If you looked back, the first half season was challenging, right? You all had not that much time to train together. You were still trying to figure out how to skate with each other. And there were some starts and stops. And if you look back at that time, what was maybe the most challenging thing that you all had to kind of deal with, and how did you go about getting there?
For me, there's like the season start overall, we were both pretty like confident in what we were doing, our material and the way things were feeling. It wasn't until we started competing that the outcome of what we were putting out there was not what we expected. So, for example, the scores and the placement. We were pretty content though, regardless, because we were a brand new team. We were out there competing for the first time, so we knew it was going to be difficult, and we knew we would have to start from the bottom. And then we weren't complaining because we got 2 Grand Prix as a brand new team, so that's like a pretty good and big step. So we were just kind of like rolling with the punches in what was happening in that moment. I don't think it was until the World Championships where I think the both of us kind of hit a position of, oh Lord, this isn't going well.
Mm.
Do do we want? How do we go about this? And do we want to figure this out and go about this? Because this is challenging. And it's also not just challenging like physically and mentally. It was also kind of like breaking that confidence that we had just got from the Olympic Games 2022. It felt like, we'd just had a really big high and now we're like at rock bottom. And we had that moment at the World Championships where we finished 20th. We had a decent
You were
skate.
19th. 19th.
19th.
19?
19th. Okay. Thank you. Fact check, 'cause I love that. We didn't have a terrible skate. We just didn't score well. And also our programs, our free dance especially, was just not being well perceived. And we know what material means in ice dance. And as a new team, finding anything that worked for us was just challenging because we didn't know what our styles were. We didn't know what would work for the both of us. And we just chose our music based on what we felt was right for us. So yeah, after the World Championships, it took us some time to realign with, okay, why are we doing this? And do we want to go through with this regardless of the results? And if we do, how are we going to do that? So yeah, we realigned after the World Championships and we decided like, look, we partnered up because we had something left in us that we weren't ready to give up on. We both wanted our careers to end on our terms. And also like while we're still young, healthy, and have the opportunity to be doing this sport at such a high level in front of thousands and thousands of people each time, like why wouldn't we take this opportunity? We just had to kind of align like, okay, what's the risk reward of it? Like if it makes us feel good, great. But if it's like a result based thing, then we're probably never going to be pleased, sort of deal. But
Little did you know.
little did we know, changing that perspective for us actually equaled out to results. And that's still now to this day our mentality, because having the expectations of results and numbers and anything like that, it's like we're always going to be disappointed in some ways. We're still learning, we're only human. We're also athletes and very competitive athletes, so we want to succeed. But we have to catch ourselves in reminding us like, okay, why are we doing this?
Right.
And it's really helped us, and it's helped our trajectory in the past 2 seasons. And I do believe, and we've spoke quite often, like we do believe we needed that first season together to like, kick us back into shape, because we came from this high from the Olympic Games 2022 with all this confidence and like I can do this. Like just partnered up with someone else, that's another Olympian, sure. We needed to be kicked down a few notches in order to be where we are today. And it's only helped us skate with, I'd say, more gratitude than anything else.
Well, and you've also now become known as the ones with the innovative moves too. I mean, like that really started in that second season together, and I think a lot of people will remember the choreograph lift, and it
From
was
the first competition as well.
from the first competition as well, where it didn't work. But it tell me about that, right? That's something that really has separated you from other teams, and how you all know how deep the ice dance fields are, and for you to be able to say like, hey, I've made a mark on the sport with the things that we do, like was that a conscious decision, and how do you think about that when you're choreographing new material?
But it was for me the first moment where I was like, oh, what is going to happen from this point on was when Roman put us in the beginning pose of our Dune 1 program into like a sort of ball, or he called it at that point like the ball. And I was like, okay, what's going to happen? Because there was something so different. I never had the position of and the style where it went from there, how he unwind this position with us together. That's when I thought like, okay, this can be something really, really special. And then it was when we started working on the elements and the choreographic elements, where whenever we did it, I was like, okay, no one else did this stuff before. This is going to be so unique and so special. So we knew that, like, when it came to the choreography and like skating the program. But what we also, or me personally, what I also felt was, okay, the first run through of the Dune 1 program, I'm like, okay, we need to put in a lot of work here because it was very, very difficult to perform those moves in a full program. I mean, anytime, but doing this, like doing a part with one lift is another thing than doing a 4-minute program of those lifts and elements. And then, starting that season with our Dune 1 program, of course, didn't went really well in the first competition. But then going back going back to training, Patrice asked me, okay, do you still want to do this choreography lift, or do we need to change it? And I did it again, and there was like a slight movement again in the practice, and he went into the direction that we have to change it. But I was like, no, this is the most unique lift figure skating has kind of seen so far in a choreographic based element. I really want to make this work. So we did it kind of over and over. And that's what we really did throughout the season. We really worked on our consistency in practice and on the elements especially. And that's what also took us to the point where we are now. Like, I mean, we call it the fast track. Like other couples have a full circle, for seasons of preparing. We had like three seasons as a new couple together. So we had to go on a fast track. But really going in this training consistency and going with those special kind of elements really brought us to the point where we are now. I think we can really say that we brought a new level of figure skating and ice dance to our sport, which skating has never seen before. So that's really special for sure.
I mean, using the choreographic elements as they were intended to be, which is creativity, right? Like that's the whole thing about introducing those elements.
Finding unique things is just so difficult nowadays in the world of art and dance. Man, everyone's algorithm in the summer is probably linked up to the same things, the same off-ice dancers doing lifts, and us trying to replicate them on the ice. Like, it's even the same with music. Like, there's always one song that'll show up that might trend, and then somebody uses it, and then you have 5 people using it. It's hard to be unique in the world of ice dance, especially without being too far out of the box as well. Because you have the classic ice dance, and then you have the really, really, really far out of the box ice dance. And like, I like to stand out as a person. Tim likes to stand out as a person. We both like acting and playing roles, so it just came very natural for us to play like the characters in Dune. But when, like Tim was saying, Roman was coming up with the elements in the choreography, I was like, this is really fucking weird. This is weird. But from what we'd experienced in our first season together and the downfall at Worlds, I was like, I'm open to anything at this point. I was like, let's just roll with it. Let's just have fun with it. And because of that, we were able to come up with just a very intricate, unique, weird program that fit Dune. And a fun fact that not many people know is Roman's our choreographer of Dune 1 and Dune 2, and he has never seen the movies. Never, not once, and he will not watch the movies. We asked him the other day, would you watch the new one? He's like, no, probably not.
Which is probably better at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, he thinks it's better that way because he doesn't have like a closed vision on what it needs to be and what it looks like. So in the choreography, especially Dune 1, some moments of that program, Tim and I brought to the choreography because we're like, okay, there's this thing called sand walking in the movie. He's like, what? And we showed him it, and he's like, okay, you add that in there somewhere. So like those moments in the choreography and the sound effects of the sand, like we added because we had watched the movie and dissected it. And also Patch, I remember us training at one point, and he's like, there's no sand walking movements in your choreography. And we're like, we know. Roman hasn't seen the movie. He thinks there's camels in the movie. So that's also a funny backstory to it, that he's created these two like now viral programs that are going to go down in history based on a award-winning movie that he has still never seen.
I think it's funny though. The interesting thing
It's
about that,
iconic.
yeah, the interesting thing about that is that without seeing the actual material and the plot of the whole thing, you don't make it so literal. You don't end up being like, oh, you're Paul Atreides or you're, the other person I can't remember. Like like it's the choreography really is the feel and the atmosphere of the music. Plus,
Yeah.
the two of you bring the story in because you have seen the movie,
Yeah.
the movies, and you're able to then tell your own story with the choreography that has already been put in. So
Yeah. So we had like a full team in a way because Roman was fully basing the choreography off of the music and the feeling from the music. And then we were able to bring our storyline into it. And that's also the way our school here works in Montreal. We have our coaches and choreographers, the technical side coaches, Roman being our choreographer. But then we work with other people, multiple people, other coaches at IAM that help us develop the story of the program. It's not just Roman. And it's not just Patch and it's not just Marie. There's an army of people that we work with still to this day on developing the story and the characters of all of our programs. So, yeah, it took a village and everybody got invested. Like everybody was bringing their own kind of vision into it. And it helped us develop the layers of what our programs have.
well, I know the two of you have things to do, and I want to make sure that you all get to do the things that you need to do. But World's coming up in a couple weeks. We're 2 Sundays before we head to Prague. So what are you thinking about for that competition? How are you entering your third Worlds together, right? To, get to where you want to get to by the end of the season. Where's your head?
For us, it's like each competition, first of all, is like a new competition. People like to say like, the Worlds after the Olympics, like something can happen there, like the doors are open or stuff like this. But we really like to go in every competition as a new competition, obviously. And at Worlds, like every other competition, we want to create a moment on the ice, which we have done so far this season pretty well, especially with our Dune program. We always want to create a moment on the ice which is memorable. And then from this story and from that moment, what we create out of the ice is like after, first of all, the feeling after when you've created this moment, we both know it. We look at each other and we were like, okay, yes, we just did it again. And that's like the most important for us, to create this memorable moment and be out there together as one, and then see what the results and stuff make with that. But of course, try to improve our season's best scores, definitely. But more important and most important is really this moment we create out there together as a couple, and the story we want to bring to the crowd. And then we will see what happens.
Have you figured out what is giving you the exclamation point in
I
your
knew it was
character step?
coming.
Oh, it's coming.
I was going to say, and our goal is to not get an exclamation point
That's
in the
for sure.
chorus step.
Did you get the feedback?
We haven't
No.
gotten the feedback yet from the games. We know from past events, but for the games, we haven't gotten the feedback yet, unfortunately.
Oh,
So we're just training it to our eye right now with a lot of camera work and being very specific.
such a mystery.
Yeah, it was a shock to us because we didn't actually know. We got the score and we were over the moon with our score. We were sat in the leader chair for a while. We didn't look at the score sheet when we left because we were like, I don't care. Like, that was great. Which is very rare for us. We usually like to look at our levels and see. Didn't even bother. We were just on such a high. It wasn't until we reunited with our families upstairs in the stands where my mother told me, I can't believe you got an exclamation point. I was like, huh? And then I ran to John Luke. I was like, we got an exclamation point. He's like, yeah. And then we watched the video. We couldn't figure it out. Tim and I saw red immediately. And we were both just like, we were, for like a hot second, Tim was more angry than I was, 100%. But we were both just like, we felt we were so angry. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But then we remembered we're at the Olympic Games. We did just do really well. We're with our families. Whew, let's get a glass of wine and enjoy this moment. We'll reevaluate another time. But yeah, we're training very diligently right now with that. Rumor has it that's changing as of next year, so it's fingers crossed.
There's
In
just
the meantime, we'll
sometimes,
just be careful.
yeah, there's just sometimes when you look at those things and you're like, really, did you get a meter stick out to measure whether you were 2 meters apart or arm lengths apart? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
it that kind of stuff kills me. The nitpicking of it for no reason at all, other than
And
to say like, ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's like it's just so costly
Yeah,
for something.
it's like 3 points.
Yeah. So we were like, oh wow, our heads are going, oh wow, we got what did we get? 122, 123 the games? 123. We were like, oh, we could have had a 125 free dance at the Olympics. Oh.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what could have been?
122.96. So you could have had a 126.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a new thing to go for at the World Championships. Yeah.
It's a new goal. It keeps things interesting, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And anyway, I have the pin from you, so yeah.
I feel partially responsible for
Oh,
it.
no. You just ran with the trend.
I know. Well, Olivia, Tim, excited to see you in Prague, and enjoy the next 2 weeks of training and resetting as you go into your final competition of the year. And, good luck with everything. And I'll see you there.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Bye.
Bye.